Take consistent action. Take consistent action. And that's moving in a specific direction day by day, just step by step. I think there are a lot of people who this is probably an easy thing for them. They're used to taking action, and they are activators. I call them activators. And there are other people who need activated. Mm-hmm. they need something in you, whether it's, and I would say you have to arrange some things in your life to become activated if you are not an activator. And full transparency, I am not an activator. I know that may seem like a surprise, but I have a lot of things in my head and they stay there. Like I would joke with my wife, like, babe, I got another $1 million idea. Cereal flavored milk. How do you like that? Like it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch without the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Without the carbs.
and without all the floaties, man.
See, it's genius. It's genius. But like that's a joke, but like
that's the guy I get to work with every day.
All these things, they can stick in your head. They just stay there and you're thinking about them and you're not moving forward. And unless you put like things in place for you to activate, you'll get stuck there. So I am someone who has to do that. And one of them is I have to connect with an activator. Like
consistently.
Like if I'm in a relationship, and I'm probably bleeding into the next one, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I've always been at my very best when I am connected to and have a relationship with someone who has big vision, big goals, and there's alignment, and then you can move. But there are some other things, like I have to have things on my calendar. Like if they're not on my calendar, they get washed out to sea. You
have to have things physically in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Are you?
I'm the same. I mean, I love the fact we just put up a giant erasable calendar on our wall out there. I don't know how big that thing is. It's massive. And then next to it, we have a giant whiteboard, and there's stuff written all over it because we need to keep things directly in front of us. And then there are some of us that are more technical that have things that are in really neat files online, digital places in the Asana worlds. And for those of you who are digital, you know what that reference is about. But I know that everyone knows what a calendar on a wall is. So yes, keeping it in front of us. See, when it comes to consistent action, so a lot of people think that the most successful people are more intelligent, or they're more ambitious, or maybe they're more persistent, or maybe they got lucky, or they grew up in a good family, or their parents were wealthy, or they got breaks. And yes, those are factors that contribute to success sometimes. But there is one ingredient that goes so far above and beyond all of those others, and I don't care where you started, and that ingredient comes in the form of consistency, and that's taking consistent action over a period of time in the same direction. It will lead to massive results. It's the only thing that ever has. So a couple points about consistency. Number one, it requires that you commit yourself to a sustained effort over a long period of time. Sustained effort over a long period of time. Secondly, it's about building small habits and little rituals that you do every single day that keep you focused on your highest priorities and goals. And then third, to be consistent means to focus on the present moment. So you have to stay right here. You can't be always thinking ahead and processing. You have to stay right here, move, while getting the long-term view. And that helps you measure your results and the impact of your daily actions. So when you're consistent and you're present while maintaining that long-term view, you can measure results and see how it impacts, see the impacts of your daily action. So it ain't sexy. It's not sexy.
No.
And a lot of people are not attracted to this idea of just being consistent, doing the same thing. Some people will call it repetitive and boring. But if you get in a specific direction and you master something and you become excellent at that, your value in that area goes up tremendously, and it will produce massive results.
You have your note. It says it isn't sexy or attractive, and that's why so many people fail.
Yeah.
And that is true. I was watching. I'm a big Foo Fighters fan. And they've
What's that?
It's a band.
Oh, I thought that was like WWE.
Yeah. Foo Fighters.
I know what it is.
No, but
I'm old like
Dave
you.
Grohl he was talking about the American Idol effect, and he hates it, just absolutely hates it. And by the way, we're not sponsored by either yet, Foo Fighters or American Idol.
Or Coca-Cola. I mean, they go hand in hand.
That's right.
Or WWE.
Yes. So, but he was talking about this American Idol thing and how every kid has this dream, and now there's a shortcut. You can bypass all the stuff it takes to be successful. All the work. And they think they can hop on a stage and get a golden ticket, and now they've won, And he said, guys, like kids, they just need to go in the garage and suck. That's it. Just bang on some stuff and sound terrible as long as you can, and eventually that something will happen. And that's what he said. He did, when he was a kid. That was the process. And it's not sexy or attractive. Your parents are running away, the neighbors are complaining, and it's the same in the work that we do. This idea of, man, do I have to pick up the phone again? Yes. Do I have to knock on another door? Yes. Do I have to have the same conversation over and over and over again? And I will tell you this, if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't want to do that, you're going to do it somewhere else until you get sick of it. You're going to keep doing it.
And then you'll just be doing it until you get sick of it, then you quit and start something new. So you never really master anything.
No, the average person is jumping from job to job about every 4 years. Every 4 years, yeah. That's the average lifespan of a job right now. Chop. I'm going to do this until I get tired of it, then I'm going to jump to this. And they're not building a future. They're not creating a legacy. And you're just taking yourself out of the game. So do the stuff that isn't sexy. Do it. And just keep doing it. And then then cool stuff starts to happen.
Mm-hmm. Michael Hyatt talks about the different zones in productivity, and there are going to be, if you look at proficiency versus passion, right? Mm-hmm. There are going to be some tasks that aren't in your passion area. Mm-hmm. There are going to be tasks that aren't in your proficiency area.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean that they have to stay there, because there's a development zone. And so what he says is, you can be poor at something and it will eventually end up in your, proficient area. You can also be poor at something and passionate, it can move if you put it in development zone. But if you're not working at it, if you're not consistently trying to say, hey, I'm going to work at being better at this, well, then your proficiency is not going to grow, which means your passion also isn't going to grow, because that's what he says.
That's a really good point.
You can be bad at something and not like it, but if you get better, you might like it.
Yeah, you actually might love it.
Exactly.
Coach
his daughter,
go ahead.
Hated finances, but through him needing help, she ended up getting a master's in it and is now the COO of their company. Because she got good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Coach Michael Burt says, people struggle because they're always trying to find their why. I need to find the thing that I love. And he said it's so hard. How do college kids know what they love? They don't know.
Yeah.
You got to just start doing something and figure out what you're good at, what you actually enjoy doing while you're doing it. It's hard to know if you're going to enjoy it until you actually get into doing. But you got to give yourself enough time to develop some skill in that area. And once you do, you'll find, hey, I'm actually pretty good at this. I think if I just keep doing this, and then eventually you're falling in love with it, and now you're actually teaching about it, and you rise to the top of your field in that area.
Hey, Austin here with Life Insurance Academy. We hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's somewhere around here. But hit the subscribe button. We got a lot more videos coming for you. In fact, this video is just a little snippet of the full podcast episode. So if you want to hear the full conversation and dive into those great tips to grow your business, click on the link in the description or search Life Insurance Academy wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, Pandora, they're everywhere. But thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video or on the podcast.